Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Die Hard MMA podcast. I'm your host, as always, Clint McClain.
All right. Well, diehards, we got a special treat for you this evening. We have Robert, the Big Blue King Hale, coming on the podcast for us this week. Robert, thank you very much for taking the time to chat with us here today. How you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing pretty good. How you doing yourself?
Doing good. I'm pretty excited, man. We love having fighters on the podcast. We really appreciate you taking the time to come out here and chat with us. And we just kind of, the biggest thing, man, we want to get to know you. So far, I've only done, you're actually my third fighter interview, so I'm not that deep into this thing. And you seem to be putting it together, man. I watched you on LFA 71, and it looks like you're 5-1 in your last 6. Seems like things are really coming together for you. So I'm stoked to have you on the podcast. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Just get us started here. What should we know about Robert Hale?
What you definitely should know about Robert Hale is he's definitely going to be classified as one of the most electrifying fighters to ever step in the MMA cage. I am definitely aiming to be a legend, a young legend at that. Definitely trying to make my mark in the sport. And King of the Cage, November 8th, I get to start on Cameron Neville, and my story just continues to keep getting told, and I'm just looking forward to like making things happen, like making a big splash in the MMA world, and making sure that people respect my name and not just look over my name.
Beautiful, man. Oh, I love hearing that. Based on your last couple of performances, you're the type of guy when you start talking like that, I believe it. So I gotta ask, man, the Big Blue King, where's that come from? What's the backstory on this fighter name here?
All right. I added the blue kind of to not mimic, like, because Roy McDonald is the Red King. I kind of like have a little more meaning to it. Blue is more of like to me it's just, it's like a little cliche, but blue is like not like a depressing color, but everybody who know blue is like, it's the blues. It's a cold, smooth, melody type of color, and that's how I want to present myself, as a smooth, cold dude, I am
Gotcha.
I'm not just, the fighter. I'm also who I am outside the cage.
Beautiful, man. I like that. That makes a whole lot of sense, because I'll be honest, every time I always saw you, everyone just kind of kept it to King Hale, and then I looked up some of your stats, and I was like, the Big Blue King. I was like, all right, this is cool. Like, what does that mean? That makes so much sense after you break it down. I like the addition of the blue there, and you're right, because you think of Rory, especially when he was the Red King. That was a big deal. That made sense. So I love it, man. That's a cool backstory to add that in there.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Awesome, man. So what got you started in MMA? You say you want to be a young legend, and you're only 27 years old. It looks like you're on the right path. Like, how'd you get your start? How'd you get the ball rolling?
So I started honestly started MMA a little late, I believe. But I had my first jump start when I had seen Clint Hester on Ultimate Fighter. I tell this, like, everybody knows this story. I saw, me and my dad and my brother, we was watching the Ultimate Fighter. I forgot what season. I keep forgetting. I need to actually go look at it, and so I can tell people what season it is, and stop telling people I don't remember the season.
That was
But
Jones versus Sonnen, right? Was that the season?
yes, Jones versus Sonnen. And
Okay.
Clint, that's when I first saw Clint Hester. I actually, his aura in the like, I didn't even know him as a person, but his aura in the cage and all that stuff, it kind of hit me, and I was like, in my mind I was like, I can do it, but then I never acted on it. My dad kind of like nudged me and was like, hey, you can do that. You play football, you athletic enough, you still got that competition drive in you, so you definitely should, look into it. I'm a kid. I'm like 21. I think I was 20 or 21.
Mm.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking like, he's just joking. So I kind of like thought about it, thought it over, I had then made the decision that I was going to try it, and that's where X3 comes into play, and that's where I met my second family. They took me in. They made sure that they made sure I was straight on everything, and then I also I had a journey of my own. Of losing a lot of weight. I was 260 when I started in the gym,
Oh,
and
wow.
and I cut all the way down. Not cut all the way down, but I made my transition down to 185, 170, and then eventually my home, which is 155.
I love I love hearing when people start their MMA career just trying to like get back on track and stuff like that, man. You were all the way up at 260. That's crazy seeing you the kind of shape and stuff you're in now, man. That's nuts.
Yeah, I wish. It's it's definitely it had its it was a journey. It had its it was fun, and then it had its times when it was bad. But I'm glad
Mhm.
I finally we got a hold of what we need to do. It really takes hard work and just dedication. A lot of people, I know a lot of fighters, they complain about cutting weight. It sucks for everybody, and I'm here
Mhm.
to tell you, it sucks for everybody. And it just you see who really want it when you see the person who makes the weight, and you see no matter what a fighter tell you, about, oh, I just couldn't do it anymore. Or I just, I feel like I feel like it's always that mental break that always stops that fighter from, achieving what they want to achieve. And I don't
Mhm.
have that. I don't have that in me. I don't have a mental break. I don't really. I go in there. I know what I need to do, and I, I um, I capitalize on it. I just go forward. I make sure everything I do it may not be the most perfect, but it's gonna be at its damn best. It's gonna be damn near perfect. I may not can wrestle the best, but damn it, my defense is gonna be is just as gonna be as good as your wrestling is. And I made a strong running with a good bit of wrestlers.
Mhm.
When I lost to Troy Lampson on the April card, lights out. I lost to Troy. We knew he coming in. We knew he was going to be a good wrestler. I wanted to really test my wrestling defense against a top notch wrestler. He
Mhm.
coming from Michigan State. I really wanted to test it. He was a lot better than I thought. So I see the levels of wrestling, and
Mhm.
now that I've seen it and I've actually experienced it, I really don't feel like anybody's going to take me down anymore.
Awesome, man. And that mental toughness you were talking about, where do you think that comes from for you? Because that's such an important thing when it comes to fighting. And you're right. Some people don't have that, and everybody's got that breaking point. You see it all the time, and it just the fighters that are able to push past that, the guys like you that are able to dig deep and just never stop. Like for someone, like the listeners for the podcast, people like me, guys that aren't willing to get into the cage, stuff like that. Can you like put into words for us like where that comes from or how you developed that? Because that's something that most people just will never understand. You know what I mean?
Um, I honestly, I got it. It's something that you get tested. Like everybody gets like a testing moment in their life where they can break, or where they can like go forward and surpass their limits. How people would say it.
Mm-hmm.
And in that it's only one moment. You get one moment, and in that moment, it lets you know. Like you let not only like that moment, will let you know, but you let yourself know that, okay, either I need to fix my mental, or okay, I know that I'm mentally strong. Like it's either a jump or a not jump. It's like a leap of faith with it. It's like
So
you
you just
either
kind of
got it.
find it.
Yeah, yeah. You either got it, or you gotta find it. Especially if you're gonna do this sport, because um, I've seen it like the sport can break you down.
Yeah.
So with that being said, you just have to like dig in and and just get to the nitty gritty and understand. That's why I always tell myself, I know I say it all the time. I tell my team, even with my teammates, Floyd Mayweather's wrong when he said he's the last of a dying breed. He does
Mm.
he does not know that there are people in Atlanta, Georgia, in a gym called X3 that work, if not hard, just as hard as he does.
He doesn't know
You know,
Robert Hale's out there.
yeah, he doesn't know about the Walter McCoys or the Robert Hales or the Jared Goodens or the Shamel Finley. He doesn't know about none of them. I'm so blessed to have guys like that around my corner. I'm also blessed to have my fiance around my corner who makes sure I'm level headed, and I'm really glad I have my coaches who Coach Isadora Nicholas. He's my boxing coach. He's got me to where I really need to be, and then you got my other Muay Thai coach Justin, and the MMA coach Justin Burns
Mm.
who has single handedly like driven every single one of his knowledge, all of his knowledge, most of everything he knows in our heads. The MMA guys, we know what he wants. We know exactly how he wants it. We know what, it's just like a big family. Like everybody knows what everybody wants. Everybody like expects something from somebody, and we hold each other accountable to it. And I love it. I always say this. Like I feel like X3 is probably the biggest like as far as when it comes to team training or like MMA guys, like I feel like we are like the most tight knit, like because everybody like respects us, and we respect everybody. We don't have any problems with people, and we also don't take any shit.
You gotta have that family, man. I totally get that. And I gotta ask you, I'm glad you brought up Jared, man. I saw some tweets with him, tweeting pictures with you out on Facebook, and he said Goku versus Deku, man. Are you an anime fan?
I am.
Oh
My
yeah.
I am. My Hero Academia is my favorite. That's where he got that from. Jared got that from because I really emphasize on how much like the main character Deku. I
Uh-huh.
emphasize how much he has like motivated and played a big part or like a big role in how much I like to motivate people and try to I look at like different perspectives because just because it's a cartoon or it's a yeah just because it's a cartoon they motivate and they inspire just like a regular movie or a regular TV show would. And I feel like anime has been looked down, not really looked down upon, but it's been like looked at as underrated for a long
Hmm.
time because of the cartoonish gimmicks and all that stuff. But people don't. If I guarantee you, if you watch it and you actually look into it, I guarantee you probably start watching like a lot of like reality stuff, like reality TV or like stuff that just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It's a real good fun thing to watch.
Man, so my listeners on the Die Hard MMA podcast, it is well documented that I am a complete and total geek. I love anime. And I was going to ask you if you were Goku or Deku. I am in the middle of season 3 of My Hero Academia. I'm almost caught up. So I know exactly what you're talking about. And that is awesome, man. Deku is such a freaking cool character. When the show started, I thought he was going to be that classic whiny, main character. I was like, oh, I don't know if I
hmm
can do this, man. But about 3 or 4 episodes in, I was like, oh shit, all right. Like
He
he's got
grows.
some levels to him. He grows quick. It's a good story.
Yeah, I love how they add the story. I love how they really set everything up. The plot really I just love how the whole plot like it's whoever is like literally writing it right now like
Yeah.
their creativity is amazing. And
Yeah.
it's crazy because I would actually like I ain't like never like it's like a side hobby, but if I ever like it's like a cast if a cast of like a voiceover of like an anime came out, I would do it.
Oh yeah, man. That would be so sick. That'd be
I
so
would
cool.
definitely. I would definitely do it.
Man, I grew up on Dragon Ball Z. I always wanted to be a character in Dragon Ball Z. It's so funny.
Me too. Me too,
Man.
man.
So
Oh
here's
man.
it. The best thing here. I grew up watching Dragon Ball Z and Naruto, and I feel like My Hero Academia has taken like all of my favorite parts from those two shows, and then they like made it better. They're like, okay, like remember these parts, the parts that were really awesome. Now we're gonna crank it, and then it's like, this show is so damn good, dude. I love that show.
Oh man, tell me about it. It is amazing.
So, what other hobbies do you have outside the cage, man? Do you play any video games or anything like that?
I am a I do play video games. I play them a lot. I try to keep a lot of balance in my life. Like
Mhm.
I don't want to be like stuck on one thing, and then but I definitely try to get video games in because I used to do that a lot before I had actually started like getting deep into MMA. Like I really wanted to be I really wanted to be a like I would have never known that you could get paid to play video games.
Right? What is that? Like how was that not there when we were 16, 17 years old, man? It's not fair.
Tell me about it. And people are, I wanted to I did it when video games when we was younger and we was playing it. I always had in my mind like, oh, I wonder if they're gonna actually be able to you know pay people for this one day. And who now people are paying for it.
There's like $1 million prizes now, man. It's crazy.
Crazy. You never would think that like a kid just won like what 3 million, three
Yeah, was that
million
the
playing
Fortnite
Fortnite.
tournament?
Oh my gosh.
And
I
you
never.
got people like Demetrius Johnson streaming on Twitch.
I think. I think that's awesome.
That's so cool.
I think that's single handedly like awesome because like that lets like I feel like when fighters do that, they give a more of an incentive on their life, and they give more of this is I'm not just this savage that y'all claim me to be. I do have other hobbies, and I love seeing like entrepreneurs that are like fighter entrepreneurs
Hmm.
that do more than just like fight. That like, I think the age of people like just fighting. I think that might be over with, and people are more honestly investing more of their time and not just themselves, but and around like they're also investing their around them, like people around them. So it's
Yeah.
you know I feel like you get more of that from the MMA community. Like a lot of people like charity. Like I can't wait to do my own charity when I get the when I'm able to. Like I'm really like I got so many ideas in my head. Like sometimes like it's like my mind gets everywhere, and I'm just starting to think too much. So I gotta like write all my thoughts down so I can like individually handle those situations.
Carry a notepad, man. That's what I do. I got a little
That's a good
notepad that
idea.
I carry with me because I get random ass ideas like that hit me all the time, and I gotta write it down. Otherwise, I'll forget them in 15 minutes.
Man, that is the best idea. I'm gonna take that idea. Thank you so much. Like that
There you
idea,
go.
that's a good. I need to carry a notepad because I just be walking around and I just have like these good ass ideas, and then like 10, 15, like you said, 10, 15 minutes, I'll forget it. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yep, I totally get that, man. So take that one to the bank. Write all those ideas down.
Most definitely, most
Oh
definitely.
man. So what it's so cool. I love exactly what you're talking about. I love that fighters can use the platform they've got to like parlay that into something bigger and better for them and then the people around them. Um what I mean, what kind of stuff are you looking to do down the road? I mean, I know we don't want to get ahead of ourselves or anything, but like if you could set up a charity, like what kind of thing would you want to do?
Well, it starts like because I want to go back to school in the middle of my fighting career, so
That's
um,
great.
I kind of want to start off. I want to get first I want to get my dental hygienist license. That's that's number one. Then number two, like later on, this will probably be like when I'm in like maybe like 4 or 5 fights in the UFC. I want to actually, honestly, I want to actually like start getting like going, trying to get my PhD in becoming like a dentist.
Oh, dude, that is cool.
Yeah, and then like sending my charity and sending charity up, for kids who want to get their teeth brushed. I would have like this is like I said, it's a long down. This would be a long down the like line, but have kids, who can't afford dentist, like going to the dentist. Like I did get like I would just do like a charity and they just get like free cleanings and stuff. So, help the kids, prevent them from getting cavities. Because a lot of like a lot of medical stuff. All that stuff is expensive.
Yeah.
Like any type of medical help like is expensive, and I want to give to all the to the community, especially my community, and do the right thing. I want to also follow in the footsteps of you know the great Muhammad Ali. I call myself the Young Ali. Not just King Hale. I call myself Young Ali, and I call myself that because I know it's big footsteps to take, and I want to be able to not only fill those footsteps but go further than those footsteps. And the only way to do it is I must fill those footsteps first, and I must do everything, I must do, and I must show all his actions, not just through words, but through my own actions, so people can see that I'm serious and like I am the greatest showman. And so I'm the greatest showman. I am the Young Ali of this generation. And on next year, people not only locally will know, but the people around the world will know my name. And it's only a matter of time before I have a breakthrough. It's only a matter of time. And
That's
I'm excited.
beautiful, man. I love it. So, what can we expect from you on November 8th at King of the Cage?
November 8th, you can expect King Hell, the greatest showman, to win by first round KO. Hands down. You heard it on this show first.
I love it, man. Now, I want to give you just a second. Again, thank you so much for taking the time to do this with us, man. I love getting to know you. If you've got any like sponsors or anybody that you want to shout out or anything like that, now's your chance. The floor is yours.
Cool. Okay. I'm gonna take my time because I usually miss one. I would like to thank, first I would love to thank my fiance. That's that's automatically my first sponsor. Levy, he best fight picks. Shaq, they all they have did above and beyond for me, and I really appreciate it. I know Daniel listening. I know Daniel gonna be listening in, so I'm gonna tell him this. Don't worry, bro. We gonna get you a new TV. and and I just wanted so we gonna get him a new TV, and then I want to shout out to my team, my other team sponsor, X3 Sports. I thank y'all for really putting up with me, and I really thank y'all for trusting me and like putting your faith in me and letting me represent your brand. And I also would just like to thank AIP, AIM, Anthony White. It's a movement. Soon enough, we're gonna make it we're gonna make this a empire. I'm not just trying to. I'm not just trying to set a base just to stay there. I'm trying to build and create and build more. So sooner. I'm telling you, by next year, watch the wave. Oh yeah, and you can follow me at blue_king_MMA, and you can follow me on Twitter at King Hell MMA.
Perfect. Awesome, man. Thank you so much again for taking the time to do it. Diehards will get out there and give you a follow. And good shout outs. The boys over at Half the Battle know what they're doing. And
Yes, sir.
you know what? They're the reason I got started podcasting, man. I listened to their show and was like, that sounds cool. I'm going to try that. So
Oh, you're doing great, right? You're doing great.
Thank you. They're practically my sponsors. I got to thank them too. All right, man. Well, we will be rooting for you and more than likely betting on you at King of the Cage. And you know what, man? It would be so cool if sometime down the road, maybe you want to come back on the show and give us a second interview and an update or something like that. Would you be cool to do that?
Most definitely.
Awesome.
Definitely.
All right. Well, there's your guy, Robert Hale. Thanks one more time, man. Good luck, and we will be rooting for you on November 8th.
Thank you, and thank you for having me on. Thank you.
My pleasure, man. You have a good one.
All right.
All right, diehards, you know the drill. Get out there and give our man Robert Hale a follow on Twitter, on Instagram. Wish him luck. We've got a couple months before his fight, but we will keeping an eye out for the betting lines on November 8th because he is our boy. Show him some love and appreciation for coming on the podcast. I hope you all enjoyed this episode. Thank you all for sticking with me. I will have the breakdown out for UFC Mexico City tomorrow night, Tuesday night, as always. Let's get that cash. Let's roll.